Plot schmot. I don't have time for that. I'm a writer. I spend all of my time writing. Well, you may want to reconsider that. Plots are actually like the backbone of a story. Stick around to figure out why plots are so important and some things to consider when creating your own plot. Thank you guys for tuning back into The Dreaded Witch for another Writing Wednesdays video. Last week we talked a little bit about the general world building, and this week we are going to talk about plots. When I started plotting my story, I worked from the outside in. So I plotted out the major events of the overall story, and I didn't really care where they fell as far as which installment. I put them all in a single timeline. I did this to make sure that the plots that carried across the different installments of the series would carry true to their nature and there wouldn't be any gaps or holes. I actually started plotting the story far before my main character was even born. The story actually starts with her mother and a couple decisions that she made to make it possible for Kyrie to actually be able to come into the world. By plotting a little bit into the history of my novel, I do a couple different things. First, I get a head start on world building and some general world history. However, this also allows you to find the perfect inciting incident to start your story at. From there, I started to plot out the individual installments, and I filled in the holes and added in some subplots and developed the characters a little bit. I am including a romantic subplot because I thought it would make for some good writing, and why not? It took me to about 150 continuous pages, not including extra scenes and rewrites that I've done, to know my story and characters well enough to know where the entire plot will lay out. This is my first novel and my first huge project, and it really took that long for me to understand my own writing and the pacing of my writing to be able to know how long it'll take me to write certain scenes. To be honest, when I started this project, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't really think that I needed I knew that I needed a plot, but I didn't really know the importance that it would play. The plotting system that I use is essentially a multitude of the rule of threes. The overall story has a beginning, middle, and end. Each book has a beginning, middle, and end. And each of those parts of the book could possibly have a beginning, middle, and end, and so on and so on and so on, depending on how in-depth your story actually is. Each of those three parts has a very unique length. The intro is relatively short, the middle is the longest portion of the rule of threes, and the end is actually right in the middle. My beginning is the setup. I tell the readers about the world, I introduce them to the characters, I start with the inciting incident. This is a key part of the beginning of the novel. As far as chapter length, this will vary from story to story. My beginning is about the first 5 chapters. My end section has a few key points in it as well. Those points are the character's low point, the climax of the story, and the resolution. My personal ending for the first book, because it is in the middle of a series, I can get away with some things. But for the sake of simplicity and for avoiding spoilers if possible, my end phase looks like this. Climax, low point, climax, resolution. The last section I have to get to, the middle, is the story between the beginning and the end. I mean, to me that's kind of obvious, but some people it may not be. I tried to balance the high action scenes that I have in my novel with some slower scenes where my main characters are learning about the world or they're discovering new important information. Or I take that time to develop one of the subplots and have my characters interact more with each other and build relationships. How many divisions the middle section should have really depends on your story and the things that are happening in your story. Because I know the plot of my own story is very, very weird, I wanted this organic, open format. Trying to fit a story into a plotting system that it simply does not fit into is like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. However, if you're looking for something concrete that you can go off of, there is a 15-beat plotting system that I think is typically used for plays. However, it translates well into all forms of writing, or can translate well. I myself don't have any personal experience with it, so I don't feel comfortable advising whether or not you guys should use it. If you're really interested, do your own research. There are plenty of videos about it here on YouTube. They might even be over in the recommended. Go check them out. Still have questions about plots? Throw down a comment and let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more writing videos on Wednesdays. Also, if you're into gaming, check out my Ginger Plays Overwatch series. I will be doing a commentary on the new Uprising event on Friday. Happy writing. Peace.